Welcome everybody, my name is Ellenoor Boonstra and today I'll be taking you on a sustainability journey. Basically, when we look at sustainability, we're all on a journey together, and the journey might look very differently for us than maybe for you and for our customers. And what we see is that that journey towards a sustainable future sometimes contains a few bumps, a lot of how are we going to do this, what does the future look like. But I think what's key in this is that we're all humans. We're all capable of being flexible, of adapting. And I think also in the transition to a sustainable future, I think we're already adapting and shaping our journey quite well. Especially when we look at our society and our political landscape and our economy, there are some initiatives already being in place to form that journey. For instance, we have some policies such as CBAM, LES, initiatives such as SBTI coming up. We see that the European is taking a stance towards sustainability to become a front runner compared to the other continents. And we also see that a lot of companies have set quite ambitious sustainability targets and are actually leveraging sustainability, that it is not only a must, but that it is also an opportunity to grow your business, become a very sustainable green brand. Now, when we look at the steel industry, we are looking at two different aspects that form our sustainability journey. One of them is, of course, decarbonization. In the steel industry, we produce about 7% of the total greenhouse gas emissions worldwide, and there is a really big need for decarbonization. On the other hand, we have circularity. And circularity in this sense is that, of course, steel is already a very circular product. It's very easy to recycle, you can reuse it in a steel plant. So is that really an aspect? We're already doing that quite well. But when we look at 2050, about the 50% of our need for scrap and our materials is something that we can meet, but that 100% that we need is not viable. So we really need to look at how we treat our scrap, especially as all of us have different circularity goals. So all of the products that we make need to be able to be made with high quality scrap. So when we look at, for instance, a high clean steel product, there's a need for high clean steel scrap. And in this case, we really need to look at to prevent downcycling. So a lot of scrap is currently being downcycled and goes into the construction market. Well, there is also a really big need for high clean steels to have high quality scrap. So that is also, next to decarbonization, one of the biggest levers that we have to look into for the future. Now, what we do at Tata Steel is that we have a plan for both decarbonization and for circularity. We're going to transform our site that we have a DRI EAF installation by 2030 up and running, where we will reach a 30% recycled content level, coming from a 17% recycled content level today. On the other hand, we will reduce our emissions of 5 million tons CO2 to also work on that decarbonization lever. This is all something that we are working towards. It's a future approach, but I can hear you think, okay, so what about now? I have sustainability goals for 2028, 2026, maybe even next year. What do we do now? And for that, we have launched Zeremis. So Zeremis is our short-term solution where we have made a promise to become carbon neutral by 2045. And what we see here is that our journey towards carbon neutrality is ever so changing. We have to adjust, we have to adapt, and that's also something that we do with Zeremis. So Zeremis is made to be able to meet your sustainability targets, whether that is on circularity or on decarbonization. So maybe if you've been here 2 years ago, we only just launched our product Carbon Light. And now, 2 years later, there's already 6 of these projects. So I'll quickly go over them shortly. We have Carbon Light, which is about decarbonization. We have Recycled, which is about the circularity proposition. We have Zeremis Delivered, which focuses all about our sustainable logistics, so transporting our coils and steels to you in a sustainable manner. Then we have our scrap buyback solutions, where we make sure that we get the high value scrap and we get it back into our DRI, EAF and blast furnace installations. So that is all about the value retention of scrap. And then we have also our carbon neutral downstreams operations, because we ask our customers to decarbonize. We of course have our plant in IJmuiden that we decarbonize, but it's also important that all of our downstream units are also on the road to carbon neutrality. And I believe already 6 of them today have a carbon neutral certificate. So we're well on our way. And lastly, we have partner solutions, because this is a journey that we are on together, and we want to always focus on how we get to the customer, how do we present our journey together. So that's why we have created partner solutions. So now let me go into our 3 main products that we have. First up is Zeremis Carbon Light. Zeremis Carbon Light is all about decarbonizing your value chain. What I mean with this is that it is a mass balanced solution. That means that it is done within the value chain of your products. So to say, if we've done a safe carbon reduction in, let's say, our packaging plant, then it is only available for packaging customers. And if we've done it at, for instance, our site in Maubeuge, it is only for customers linked to products that they buy from Maubeuge. You can receive up to 90% of carbon reduction, and you can also report this in your scope 3 emissions. And this is purely meant also to reach your carbon neutrality goals that you have already today. Then we have Zeremis Recycled. It is our newest solution, which focuses on meeting your circularity targets. We are working towards gaining a 30% recycled content level in our DRI EAF installation, but we hear there's also a need for it now. So what we have done is, again, a mass balance solution where our customers can already receive a 30% recycled content product. And what is important with this one is that you can actually report it on product level, not only on an organization level, but also on a product level. That means that you can actually put in your product, hey, this is steel with a 30% recycled content in a mass balanced way. So it's a bit more viable, and also to all of your customers, it's easier to understand as well. Then we have our Zeremis Delivered. So what Zeremis Delivered is all about is that, of course, we make steel products, and all of our customers make some other beautiful product out of it. But there's a lot of logistics in between. And that's something that sometimes may be overlooked, because it's just a small percentage of our environmental footprint. But it doesn't mean it's less important. So we're looking at multiple solutions for different modalities. We already have HVO 100 usage in trucks going around Europe. And then we're also looking at, for instance, the electrification of trains and also of barges. So there's many different solutions in place, and it's a very easy stepping stone if you are new to the decarbonization journey to start with this and to see, how do I feel with this? How do my customers respond? But what I have not mentioned yet so far is that our sustainability transition is something that comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of new things, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of how do we tackle this? So what is key in this is that we all should focus on always being credible. And what I mean with this is that you need to make sure that the solutions you provide, and that is for us and also for our customers, are robust and traceable. How we do this at Tata Steel is that we have a carbon bank that has very, very strict scheme rules. So to make sure that every ton that we save is additional. So it's a new project that's specifically done for sustainability. It's not just an oven that was end of life and we had to change and there's now certainly a carbon reduction. No, it's actually done with the purpose of sustainability. And next to that, we have a LCA process that is set up in a way that we have carbon reductions that either go into our Zeremis products or go into our environmental footprint. And that is something that's very important because we see in the industry there's a lot of double counting. People are trying to work with credits, are not 100% sure how to report it, and this is why we are very keen on making sure that there's no double counting between our EPDs and our Zeremis products. And then lastly, all of our Zeremis offerings are independently assured by DNV. They audit our carbon bank, they check everything to make sure that also we deliver a product to our customers that's verified and able to be sold onwards throughout the value chain. And I think that also concludes the journey that we're on together. So basically what I'm trying to convey today is that it's a tough journey. It's new, it comes with a lot of bumps, and we have to tackle a lot of unknowns. But by working together, by working on projects, knowing how our customers respond, being credible, making sure everything is traceable, we can work together towards a sustainable future, and we'll help you decarbonize your value chain. And also, not to forget, we will deliver a carbon neutral circular product and make sure that the steel product that you get today and in the future will remain high quality. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to come by later today.